So what exactly is GA4? How can you safely migrate your site and data to GA4? What are the pros and cons of using GA4 for your website? This video is a step-by-step tutorial for beginners to answer all these questions and more. Now, Google Analytics is a tool to help you understand how visitors interact with your website, and Universal Analytics or UA is the current version of this tool, while Google Analytics 4 or GA4 is the new version. Why do we need this new version? The base structure of UA was built years ago, and since then, people have started using new devices and the user behavior has been changing. Google created GA4 to keep up with these changes and provide more accurate and useful data to website owners. So what's changed? There's 4 main things which I've summarized here, but if you want to understand it better, I've made a short video explaining GA4 that I'll link above and below. Are there any cons of GA4? Some users have concerns of losing or mismatching data during the migration. See, you can't migrate your old historical data from UA to GA4, you can only export it. And we haven't seen any loss of data since we started using it 3 months ago. It is possible that some mismatch can happen in some sites because of the tracking codes that they've been using. So we have to be really careful when we're doing parallel paste. Don't just directly remove the tracking code, change it parallelly one by one in all the pages so you don't lose orders or get errors. If you've got customized tracking code in your website, you can't just copy paste it. You'll have to write new code based on GA4, but people using G tag can already migrate the site easily. Now, why should you switch to GA4? Well, Google has made it clear that GA4 is the future of Google Analytics. They're not adding any new features to the older version, and they're encouraging everyone to switch to GA4 because of the advanced features and simplicity. There's a deadline as well for the switch, and then another deadline after which your data might not be available. So switching is the way to go. How to migrate UA to GA4? Okay, before I show you the steps, I need to share one very important thing with you. I'm guessing SEO is important for you and you want your site to rank on top of Google and get lots of visitors. But we both know that all of them will just bounce off it if your site is too slow to load. Let me bust a myth right now. The reality is that most speed plugins in the market are either expensive or complicated or just ineffective. We've built successful WordPress plugins before, and seeing this issue, we built a free plugin called Airlift, which makes any website 3 times faster within just 1 minute. Let me show you how. This is my test website. Let me copy its URL and check its page speed score. You can see it's very low. Now I'll just paste the same website URL in Airlift and click here. It's automatically doing all the optimizations needed, and now you can see a huge jump in speed. It's totally free, and you can visit this website and click here to install it. Sign up, download the plugin, then upload it to your site, and you can use it now. Alright, now your site won't be dragged down by slow loading, so all your SEO efforts are going to be worth it. Let's continue to migrate UA to GA4. First things first, you'll want to check which properties you need to migrate. To do this, sign into your Google Analytics account. Once you're in, click the down arrow next to the name of your property in the upper left. Under Properties and Apps, find your property. Universal Analytics property IDs start with UA and end with a number like this. Next, you'll need to check if you need to migrate your Universal Analytics property. In Google Analytics, click Admin in the lower left. Make sure that your desired account is selected in the account column. In the property column, select the Universal Analytics property you want to check. Then click GA4 Setup Assistant is the first option in the property column. In the Google Analytics 4 Property Setup Assistant, look for a red or green notice that says not connected or connected. If the notice is red and says not connected, you need to migrate. Now, let's create a GA4 property. Under I want to create a new Google Analytics 4 property, click Get Started. In the Create a new Google Analytics 4 property screen, you'll have one of the following options depending on how your site is currently tagged: Create and Continue or Create Property. If you see Create and Continue, this means that Analytics can reuse your existing Universal Analytics tagging for your GA4 property. Analytics will create a connected site tag between your Universal Analytics and GA4 properties. Select this option. If you chose Create and Continue in the previous step, on the Setup a Google Tag page, install the Google Tag manually, or select the option that best describes your situation and follow the instructions to finish creating your new GA4 property. Once you've set up your tag, you need to configure your Google Tag settings. This involves copying and pasting the entire Google Tag in the code of every page of your website, immediately after the head element. If you have any custom code added in UA, make sure to add those according to GA4. Don't add more than one Google Tag to each page. When you're done, you'll see you have successfully connected your properties at the top of your Google Analytics 4 property setup assistant page. That is a wordful. Basically, you'll see it at the top here. Make a note of your GA4's property name and you can find it later. If your Universal Analytics property name is example property, your GA4 property name will be example property-GA4. Click see your GA4 property to open the setup assistant. This setup assistant guides you through recommended features and settings to help you finish setting up your GA4 property. It can take up to 30 minutes for data to begin appearing in your new GA4 property. So to verify that your data is being collected, browse your website, then go to the report navigation and select real time. You should see some activity in the real-time report. Now watch this video next if you want to be shocked, and watch this video if you want to migrate to GA4.